What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another Fantasy Premier League video on the channel. In today's video, as you guys can tell by the title, today we are going to be going through your wildcard teams for game week 6. We're going to be reviewing them, rating them, and giving you guys some suggestions on what you can do, in my opinion, to improve. If you guys are enjoying the rating your wildcard team series so far, make sure you do smash a big thumbs up on the video and also subscribe and turn on post notifications if you haven't already. Road to 1,000 subscribers is well and truly on. But anyway, enough of the waffle, guys. Let's waste no more time and let's get straight into it. Let's go. Alright then, guys, so moving on into the first wildcard team for today's episode. I just want to say again a huge shout out to D3R21M0 on Twitter for sending in your team. Really do appreciate it, bro. But we're going to waste no more time and we're going to get straight into the team. So as you guys can see, he's gone for a 3 at the back, a 4 in midfield, and a 3 up front as well. He's got Cancelo on the bench, which is interesting as well. I guess he's playing against Chelsea, so he doesn't want to start him. But what I would say, we'll start with the defense. Generally, I think Cancelo's a good pick. I can kind of understand why you've benched him, but I really do think Soufal and Shaw need to be replaced, especially on the wild card. I feel like Man United defensively have shown that they're really just not really the go-to for FPL. I think in terms of Man United defenders when it comes to FPL, I don't think they're the ones to go for at the moment. And the same goes for West Ham, really. I'm not really a big fan of West Ham in terms of, their defense. I think there is better options out there, especially with the upcoming fixtures. So in terms of replacing Luke Shaw, I definitely would go for someone like Rudiger. Yes, I do know Rudiger is playing Man City in the next game week, in game week 6, but you kind of want to look ahead. You want to look further than just, one game week. And I think for long term, I think Rudiger is your guy. I think Rudiger is definitely the one to put in because we've seen that he starts every single game for Chelsea and he is the same price as someone like Luke Shaw. So I definitely would look at putting in Rudiger instead of Luke Shaw. Maybe you play Luke Shaw for this game. We can then, use your free transfer to put in Rudiger. That could work, but I personally would just, go straight for Rudiger because I feel like you need to replace Soufal as well. And in terms of replacing Soufal, I would actually go for someone like Kieran Tierney. I think for Arsenal, Kieran Tierney does provide a really good attacking threat, but not only that, Arsenal defensively are actually pretty good when they do play these lower sides, and that's why I do like Tierney as an option. Tierney is someone that is a player that I went with on my wild card, and I think I wild carded it in like game week 4, I think it was. So I had him for Norwich and Burnley, and he got me 2 clean sheets back to back. Yes, he's playing Tottenham in the next game week, I know, but like I said before, you want to think ahead, all right? You don't want to just look at the next game week. You want to look at the next 5 to 6 to 7 game weeks, and Arsenal really do have a nice run in the next few games. They play teams like Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, Brighton. So yeah, I think there's more clean sheets up for grabs and attacking returns for Kieran Tierney. So I definitely would replace Soufal or Kieran Tierney in my opinion. But we'll move on to the midfield now. So there's Salah, which is obviously a great pick, fantastic pick. There is Saïd Benrahma as well, which I like. I like Benrahma, and next game he's against Leeds, and he's got a few other decent games as well. I think that West Ham do play like Watford, and a few other teams. But overall, I think West Ham's next 5 games are pretty decent, so I do like Benrahma. The same kind of goes for Sarr and Gray. They do have like decent fixtures, not like great fixtures, but in terms of I think they're up there with the teams that do have quite good fixtures for like the next 6 game weeks. So I do think Gray, Sarr, and Benrahma are pretty decent options. Sarr and Benrahma all have proved last week they can do the job against these lower sides, because Sarr does play, I think, Wolves, Newcastle. I think he does play West Ham as well in like the next 6 game weeks. But yeah, what I'm trying to say basically is that Watford, West Ham, and Everton do have good enough fixtures to have them players in the wild card. So I do like it. And obviously you have gone for Ronaldo and Lukaku up front, so you kind of need those cheap players in midfield. And again, I can understand. So again, that's another reason why I can understand why you've gone for them. In terms of having Ronaldo and Lukaku, I personally wouldn't have done this. I mean, you are wild carding now in game week 6, so I guess, yeah, I can understand why you've done it. But what I would say is that when Ronaldo does play like Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea, when Man United do go through that really tough run of fixtures, I would 100% take out Ronaldo. I don't think he's going to be, worth that much money against those tough teams, because I don't see him, getting, more than a goal against those big teams. So I probably would take him out for someone cheaper and then look to upgrade, a player elsewhere. You can get maybe a City attacker in, or another City defender, or even Trent Alexander-Arnold in. But I definitely wouldn't go for Ronaldo as well as Lukaku when Ronaldo does play some really tough teams. But I like Antonio. I think he's a great option as well. And I think Lukaku is also a good option. Yes, I know he's playing Man City in the next game week, but then after that, he's got that beautiful run of fixtures. So I think he's a fantastic option there. So yeah, that's pretty much like what I would do with your team. I'm just, again, I wouldn't change much. It's mainly the defense, to be honest. So they're like the main issues of the team, Sufal and Shaw. And then I just want to let you know that after Man United do play Leicester, I would 100% take out Ronaldo for someone cheaper. It could be a Bamford, it could be a DCL, because he'll probably be back by then. So it could be a DCL. It could just be anyone cheaper that's, you know, relatively decent. So like I said, Bamford, DCL. Could it be Jamie Vardy? I think Jamie Vardy's pretty overlooked at the moment. He's actually done pretty well in FPL. So it could be anyone. But yeah, I would just definitely take out Ronaldo for someone that has good fixtures at the time, and then downgrade him, and then maybe upgrade, you know, either one of your midfielders or one of your defenders as well. It is up to you, but yeah, that's all I would do for your team, to be honest, bro. Other than that, it's a really, really good team. I like the midfield, it's quite solid. Again, I like the strike force for now, but just, you know, take into account that later down the line, I think you would need to take out Ronaldo. And then I like the two defenders. I think they're very, very good options as well. But with that being said, I've waffled a lot now. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the next team. And again, massive shout out to you, bro, for sending in your team. Really, really do appreciate it. Alright then, guys, so moving on into the next wildcard team for game week 6. Again, massive shout out to Oscar_Sywinski. I hope I didn't butcher that name. If I did, very, very sorry, bro. But yeah, he sent me the team through Instagram this time, and he's gone for a 4-4-2. It's a very, very interesting team because I'm seeing a few players here that, well, not a few, but just one or two players I'm a bit unsure about. So, yeah, we'll start with the defense. Actually, no, I want to start with the defense, but first, I just want to say, you've got Origi in your team, which has confused me quite a bit, to be honest. I don't know why I've gone for Origi. He hasn't played much at all. I haven't even looked at Origi in FPL, so I don't even know how much he cost you. But yeah, I don't think I would waste a Liverpool slot, especially on a wild card, by going for Origi. I mean, that just caught my eye straight away, so I kind of just wanted to address that as soon as possible. So yeah, I would definitely look to, you know, get rid of him. Maybe you can put in someone like Jota or even Tsimikas. I think Tsimikas, now that we've seen him play again, and we've seen Robertson being rested while fit, it does, you know, I think Tsimikas could be a good, you know, bench rotation player if he is going to be in the Liverpool side every now and then. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't go for Origi in a wildcard team, bro. But yeah, we'll start with the defense now. Trent Alexander-Arnold, I like that. I think, you know, on the wildcard, he's a fantastic option, man. I think Trent and Salah, well, in my opinion, Trent and Salah are like, obviously it depends, you know, how expensive you're going to go midfield and attack. But for me, the first names on the team sheet will always be Trent and Salah. You know, so yeah, that's just my opinion. So yeah, really like the pick there. Alonso, I like as well. Fantastic run of fixtures, and he's looking really promising. The amount of touches in the box he has, the amount of, you know, runs he makes forward, you know, the amount of shots he takes, the amount of crosses he gets. I mean, he is just an attacking gem. And I'm surprised that Chilwell still hasn't come into the side. So at the moment, it looks like Alonso will be playing every game, and if that is the case, he's an absolute bargain for around 5.7 mil. I think he's an absolute steal, and I really do think he's a great option, and he's someone I'm considering to bring into my side very soon in the next up and coming game weeks. But yeah, I think Alonso, fantastic. Digne, now this is something I want to talk about. Luca Digne, guys, I honestly think this season Digne is probably the most overrated FPL asset there is right now. Honestly, I just don't like Digne as an option. I mean, I know he's got a good fixture against Norwich, but just generally speaking, I don't think Digne is actually a good option. He's not really been a good FPL asset, in my opinion. I mean, well, it's not really. I guess it's facts. Is it really facts? I mean, I want to say it's in my opinion because I mean, the evidence is there, you know, in terms of, you know, when you look at his points, he's not really done well. So yeah, I don't like Digne. He's not. I don't think he's got any goal contributions at all as well. I'm just gonna double check, you know, just to make sure I'm not chatting rubbish or chatting crap or anything. But yeah, he's not got any goal contributions, and Everton have only got one clean sheet. So I'm just not liking the look of Digne at the moment. I really am not. And you know, just the own goal just topped it off at the moment. I mean, yeah, the own goal just topped it off against Aston Villa. But yeah, at the moment, I really don't like Digne. So in terms of, you know, what I would do to get rid of him or to replace him, I definitely would either look at a Chelsea double up in defence. So I would go for Rudiger as well, because Chelsea have a great run of fixtures, and we've seen Rudiger play every game, and we've seen Chelsea defensively be very good and consistent. So I think, again, there's better options out there instead of going for Digne. So I would either look at Rudiger, or I would look at I wouldn't put in on a wild card. I wouldn't put in a City defender maybe now, because they've got two tough games, but I would maybe put someone in for the short term. for the next 2 fixtures, but then also, you know, save some money and then getting a City defender in for like, I think it's game week 8 where they play like Burnley and then Brighton and then like Crystal Palace. But yeah, I probably would just get rid of him for Rudiger, honestly. I just don't really rate Dini at the moment for FPL. I don't think he's good, and I don't think he's worth the money as of now, but that's just my personal opinion. We'll move on anyway. Duffy's also quite a decent pick as there. He can rotate with Livramento at times as well. Sarr I like, Gray I like as well, Salah fantastic, and Ben Rama. So it's the same midfield as last, I do believe as well. The last draft that we looked at, that is the same defense, and then he's got Ronaldo and Lukaku. So there's no Antonio. But yeah, again, in terms of what to do with Ronaldo, I'll say the same thing like I did with the last person. I would, after that Leicester game, I would look to downgrade him. And seeing as you don't have Antonio, it could be for Antonio, it could be for Bamford, it could be for DC if DCL was fit. You know, when those hard fixtures do come with Manchester United, then it could be someone like DCL. And again, like I said, it could be someone like Vardy, because I think, like I said, I think Vardy's being slightly overlooked at the moment. I really do. He's actually done pretty well. You know, at the start of fantasy, I mean, he got a goal in the first game, and then in game week 3 he got a goal and an assist against Norwich, and then in game week 5 he got a goal. So yeah, he's done pretty well, to be honest. He's returned 3 times out of 5 game weeks. So I think Vardy's, you know, one to look out for. But yeah, I definitely would consider downgrading Ronaldo after Manchester United do play Leicester. And I'm a United fan myself, but I'm just, you know, trying to stay neutral and trying to, you know, just give you guys my personal opinion, to be honest. Of course, you don't have to do it, but again, it's just what I personally would do. But other than that, I think it's a really good team. I do like it. As I said, the only main issue of this team at the moment it's just Luca Dini, in my opinion. That's pretty much it. As I said, maybe you could downgrade Ronaldo later down the line. But other than that, oh yeah, and Origi, of course. Yeah, I would definitely downgrade Origi. I mean, I'm going to double check as to how much Origi is. But yeah, I don't... he's just someone I've never looked at. So he is 4.9 at the moment. Yeah, just downgrade him to a 4.5. I don't think there's any point in, you know, having Origi in the side. So downgrade him to a 4.5. Upgrade Dini to someone like, you know, it could be Ake, because he's playing right now, but the rotation risk is there, so I probably would stay away. So I would just double up on Chelsea defense, get Rudiger in the side, downgrade Origi to 4.5, and I think it's happy days for your team, to be honest. So yeah, I really do like it, bro. It is a solid team, and good luck to you in the next and upcoming game weeks, man. Hopefully this team does well. I think it's got really good potential, especially if you go for Rudiger, man. If you go for Rudiger, you know, that defensive structure, that defensive lineup can get you a load of points, man. Honestly, it can. And I like the midfield, and I like the 2 attackers for the time being. So, yeah, fantastic team, in my opinion. Again, you guys in the comments, let me know what you guys have thought of the last 2 drafts that we've looked at so far. But we're going to move on into the final draft for this video. So, let's get into it. Right then, guys, so into the final team for today's video. Shout out to Elif_Herstad. Again, sorry if I butchered the name, bro, but yeah, shout out to him on Instagram for sending in the team. Really do appreciate it. But we're going to dive straight into the team. And again, I kind of do, this draft, I actually kind of do like it. I'm not going to lie. So we'll start with the defense and the goalkeeper. He's actually gone for Ramsdale in goal, which is actually pretty interesting. It seems like he is going to be the starting Arsenal goalkeeper, so that is pretty interesting. He has gone for Ramsdale in goal, and I'm not against it. I think, as I said previously, you know, when talking about the likes of Tierney, Arsenal defensively, when they do play against these, you know, lower table sides, they are actually pretty good. So I think, you know, Ramsdale is a good option, and he does make quite a few saves. I think in the last game week against Burnley, I think he got a 9-pointer. So yeah, I think Ramsdale could be pretty good, a pretty good option. Yeah, he did. He got a 9-pointer, which is always nice to see from your goalkeeper. Getting a lot of saves and things like that. So yeah, I think Ramsdale's a good option. In defense, he's gone for Trent, Semedo, Rudiger, and Alonso. So I'm guessing it would be a back 4. I mean, it could be a back 3 or it could be a back 4. It depends as to who you would go for. You know, in midfield and in the forward positions. But yeah, so Trent, obviously, as I said previously, I do like him. Semedo, I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about Semedo. Wolves, man. They are like, they're like the opposite of Brighton last season. Like, Brighton defensively had good XG numbers, but didn't really get many clean sheets. I feel like this season, Wolves have good expected goals numbers. And players like Semedo, Jimenez have good expected goals numbers, but they aren't just they're not getting the goals. Like, they're just, the end product is not there for Wolves, and they are conceding quite a bit. I mean, they've had 1 clean sheet this season, and that's it. So honestly, I'm not too sure about Semedo. Obviously, in the next they do have the fixtures on their side, which is always nice. You know, on the wild cards, you do want to have players from teams that do have easy fixtures. So I can kind of understand why I've gone for him, but at the moment, I am just not too sure on Wolves. It's a bit, I don't know. But in terms of, you know, if I wasn't gonna go for Semedo, I probably would go for like a Brighton defender. But since you don't have Sanchez in goal, I'd probably go for like Duffy or Doug instead of Semedo. But again, Semedo is quite attacking. There is attacking potential there from him, so I can kind of understand why I've gone for him. It's just that Wolves are a little bit, you know, I'm not really too sure about Wolves, but that's just one to keep an eye on. Rudiger, I like as well. The fixtures are really, really good. And it's that Chelsea double up. Alonso and Rudiger, as I was saying, for the last person, that's what they should do and take out Digne. Yeah, I think Rudiger's a great option. I think Alonso's a great option. Rudiger looks like he's going to be played every game under Tuchel. Alonso at the moment looks like he's going to play every game. But what he also adds is that attacking threat, man. I mean the touches he has in the box, the shots he takes, the crosses he puts in, like his attacking return potential is very, very high. And you know, it's like he's not even playing as a defender. Like if you were to look at his heat map, I mean, his heat map would be a lot in the opposition's half. It would be, you know, quite a decent amount of his heat map would probably be in the opponent's box as well. Because yeah, I think he was like first. I think in the game against Tottenham. For Chelsea, I think Alonso was first in terms of like touches in the opponent's box and stuff like that. So yeah, I think Alonso is really, really good. Now into midfield, he's got Salah, Grealish. I kind of do like this Grealish pick because what I've actually noticed is that Grealish starts no matter what. That's one thing I've noticed. I mean, everyone goes on about the Pep roulette and things like that, but what I do know at the moment is that Grealish is starting literally every game, even in the Champions League as well. Like he's playing in the Champions League and then he'll play on in the Prem as well, and he's played every single Prem game. So what we do know is that, you know, Man City bought this man for £100 million. So, I mean, I guess he is bound to play most games. So that's why I do like Grealish. I know he hasn't done, like, great for fantasy, but I feel like there is definitely potential there with Grealish. And again, I know that he does play Chelsea and Liverpool in the next 2 game weeks. But then after that, Jack Grealish actually does have 3 good fixtures. I think they play either in game week 8 they've got Burnley, and then game week 9 Brighton, and then game week 10 Crystal Palace. So in those 3 games, I think Grealish could be very, very useful, especially if he does, you know, still have that place in the starting 11. So I kind of do like that Grealish pick there. And Gallagher as well. I do actually like Gallagher because what I've noticed about this team is that he could be rotated with other players. For example, you could play a 3-4-3 with Gallagher, Rafinha, and then the 3 strikers. So yeah, you could play a 3-4-3 or you could play a 4-4-2 and maybe drop Gallagher. Because what I would say about Gallagher is if you were to put him in, then I think, you know, you would want to be able to rotate him with other players, and you can do that, which is why I do like the pick. For example, next game week he's got Brighton. You probably want to play him in that game. Leicester at home, you probably you might not want to. I mean, Leicester this season defensively haven't been the best, so maybe you would want to play Gallagher against Leicester at home as well. But in Arsenal, you might not want to play him, but then Newcastle, you might want to play him. So in the weeks that you don't want to play Gallagher, you know, you could play one of your defenders, you could play someone else. But what there is with your team is rotation, and that's what I do like. So yeah, I don't mind Gallagher in the side there. I think he's actually a little bit of a gem, you know. I really, really do think he is. Rafinha is also a good pick, obviously assuming he does play and assuming that, you know, the extent of his injury isn't as severe as it seems. I think Rafinha is a good option as well. Bamford I like because he's got the fixture. I think more goals will come for Bamford. I definitely think they will. And Lukaku's fantastic, of course, with the great run of fixtures Chelsea do have. And then Mikel Antonio, the GOAT himself, of course he's going to be a fantastic option. I think he's a really, really good option, you know, as long as Antonio's fit and West Ham devs, you know, decent fixtures, I think Antonio's really, really good. So overall, I do like this draft quite a bit, you know, I really, really do. Yeah, I do like it. I don't really have too many concerns about this draft, to be honest with you. I mean, the only slight concern is maybe Semedo, but other than that, I actually do like it. Maybe what you could do for the next 2 game weeks is probably take out Grealish, because maybe you wouldn't want to play Grealish against, you know, Chelsea and Liverpool. So maybe, you know, you take out Grealish for this game week. I mean, in terms of who to take him out for, it could be Damari Gray, it could be Ben Rama, it could be Sarr, it could be someone cheap, but all I'm saying is for the next 2 game weeks, maybe you could take out Jack Grealish for one of those players and then transfer him in. So, you know, make sure you have money in the bank, transfer him out for, again, like I said, one of those players, Gray, Sarr, Ben Rama, and then after that, when game week 8 comes, then you can put him back in, and I think that's perfect. But yeah, man, I think overall your draft is really good, and I do like this side. So again, in the comments, let me know what you guys do think of this team that you guys can see on screen. But yeah, that's gonna be it, ladies and gentlemen, for rating your teams. Alright guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. I really do hope you guys did enjoy today's episode of rating your wildcard teams. If you did, make sure you do smash a big thumbs up on the video. Can we hit 20-30 likes? I don't know, that would be absolutely fantastic if we can hit that like goal. But yeah, really do appreciate you guys for sticking around and watching. And also shout out to everyone that did send in their teams for today's episode. As I said, this is going to be a weekly thing, a weekly series. So again, the more people that send in teams, the better. Obviously I do have like a relatively small fan base, so it is kind of hard to find people that are wildcarding each game week, but hopefully as the channel grows it would be a lot easier. And then yeah, I do plan to do this every week though, as I said. So if you are wildcarding in game week 7, make sure you do send in your teams through Instagram or Twitter. It would be much appreciated. But yeah, hope you guys did enjoy today's episode. Make sure to subscribe, stick around. Road to 1,000 subscribers is well and truly on. So yeah, it's been your boy FPL Ryan, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.